Welcome to another video on strategy. And in this one, we will talk about the AI paper. And before I talk about that, let me just give you a brief background as to why AI is so important. So this is something that I've already included. By the way, if you go to Blackboard and under additional resources, I've included some interesting things that will help you in your future. None of these, there's no assignment related to this, but if you watch this or if you go through these are some interesting ones, and I'll probably create another video for that. So here is AI and leadership video, sorry, PowerPoint. So that's what I'm using over here. Um, so you can actually go through this. I want to create this video just for the AI paper, but let me just give you a bit of background about that. Is in 97, now Gary Kasparov was defeated by IBM's Deep Blue. 2011, Watson beats two of the best human players. And again, 2016, AlphaGo beats Korean world champion Go. Okay. I'm just ending it over here. I don't think these are as important, and I'll tell you why. See, defeating a human being in chess or Jeopardy or Korean game Go. Go is, by the way, if you don't know, Go is a game that has tons of moves. I mean, people say there are more stars in the universe than the possible combination. Actually, the possible combinations in the game of Go are more than the possible stars in the universe. But anyway, so the reason I'm saying this 97 to 2016 is not a big deal is because computer is better at making calculations. So like take an example of Deep Blue beating chess player Gary Kasparov. Chess, finite game, you know the type of moves and all that. So computer can do permutations and combinations, calculations a lot faster than human being. Same thing with Jeopardy. It's all about information. Computer better at processing information. 2016 AlphaGo beats Korean world champion of Go. Again, tons of moves in Go. So computer is better at calculating stuff, accessing stuff, processing stuff. We get it. Okay. But what happens next is actually really interesting. So let me go over here, then I'll go back to the AlphaGo Zero in a second. In 2017, AI Deep Stack Machine, it beat four of the world's top poker players in a series of 20 matches in Pittsburgh. So what is poker? Poker is incomplete information, right? It is based on bluffing, anticipating behaviors, blah, blah. So guess what? What is data in that case? Okay, human behavior. So human behavior is the data. So the AI machine was looking at the tells, the little signs, little things that human beings make when they get, good cards or bad cards, things like that. So that is amazing where this AI machine is actually looking at human behavior. That is why I'm excited about this. And then AlphaGo Zero, this is an amazing machine. See, AlphaGo, that machine was actually amazing machine. This is amazing machine, no doubt about that. But it was built by humans and it was programmed by humans to act a certain way. AlphaGo Zero is where machine learning takes the next step, which is AlphaGo actually was not programmed by humans, but it is a learning system basically. So it is, it played with itself and it played with other, came up with the game by itself, came up with the rules, permutations by playing the game over and over and over again. And when it was ready, it started playing with AlphaGo. So AlphaGo Zero is playing with AlphaGo, okay? Guess what the result was? 100 to 0. So AlphaGo Zero machine, a machine that learned by itself, beat the machine that was programmed by humans. Okay, that is why it is amazing. And in the other video, I mentioned to you about what the future looks like. And by the way, go through this PowerPoint. This is an interesting PowerPoint. So by some estimates, 400 to 800 million people are going to lose their jobs. 50% of people are going to lose their job by some measures. So we need to be ready for AI instead of, crying about it, hiding under the bed. We need to do something about it. And strategy is all about looking at the future. So that's why you are actually the luckiest ones, because you're the first ones I have included the AI assignment. I did have AI bits and pieces, but this is the first time. And this is actually an interesting assignment because you're actually going to write an academic paper that is you're researching stuff. And the reason that is important is any activity that can be programmed or that can be broken down into steps 1, 2, 3 can be easily done by machines. Okay. But when it comes to research and analysis, because there is so much out there, it is still a place where humans will still have some edge. For how long, we don't know, but this is at least, this will say, it's like a baseball player. A baseball player says, I'm just a pitcher, so I'm just going to work out my right arm because I'm a right arm pitcher. Okay. Doesn't work. The baseball pitcher has to work out his entire body. So same thing, I'm giving you techniques where you can work your brain completely, how to analyze things, how to research things. So this paper is along those lines. Okay. So what are you going to do in this paper? So this is a 10 to 15 pages paper. By the way, I will try this, not going to promise, but the person, the team that has the best paper, it's very likely that I would be able to take them to a conference in Chicago, all expenses paid. I'm working on it. Cannot promise you that, but that would be the prize. If not Chicago, at least we can take you to some local conference over here, but very likely Chicago. Okay. So think about that as you are going to be doing this assignment. So what is this assignment about? So AI is a vast area. There's so many things going on in AI. So pick an area in AI and then come up with a research topic as well as an industry that you're working in or you want to work in, and make sure the focus is on AI and management. Either it's because this is strategy course, so either it needs to be AI and management and your industry, or AI and leadership, or AI and strategy. Again, it needs to be specific to an industry. So I'm giving you the example. So the effect of big data, which is again AI, on manager productivity. That's the topic related to management in retail industry. Okay. You don't pick this. I just gave you an example. So pick an area of AI, pick an area of management. Don't pick accounting, supply chain, marketing, because this course is about strategy. Okay. So we're not talking about that. But if you're interested, you can research that on your own. So AI, management and leadership, or leadership in a particular industry. Okay. So AI has been used quite a bit in medical industry, in retail, in lots of places. So just pick that and then let me know what the topic is. And the topics will be assigned on a first come, first serve basis. And the way you're going to write a paper is, I have included my own research paper, which was published. It's not the best paper, but it is actually a simple paper, which is really good because it will give you a good understanding of what a research paper looks like. So it's already uploaded. Oh, it's I'm going to upload it over here under course content. I'll upload it. So where you have the AI paper, I'm going to include AI sample paper. Okay, I'll include it over here, close to over here. Okay, so let's go back. So I'm also giving you an outline as to what should your paper include. So the first part is the abstract, which is a brief overview of the study. By the way, write the abstract at the end. Okay, don't write it before the beginning. Then, so look at this. This is the paper that I've included, offshoring paper. So this is the abstract. Tells you what it is. Okay, simple. And then you're using keywords, again, do that at the end. And if your paper is good, not only are you going to be presenting it at the conference, I will help you get published as well. Okay, so there, if any of you want people to take you seriously as far as research is concerned, this is a great opportunity. This will also boost your chances because I mentioned this in the previous video, but it is so important. I'm going to mention it one more time, which is this. More than 70% of the employers plan to hire people who have knowledge of AI. So you are getting a leg up in that. All right, let's go back here. That's the abstract is actually a brief description of what your study is about. By the way, research papers are not, you're not writing a novel, mystery novel or something. Everything you tell people what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and you basically do it. Okay. So abstract is what is the story about? What are you doing? What are the results? Everything is right here. Then the instructions, if you, introduction, I have put down different sections over here. I.A, you know, it should have dot over here. Doesn't have, but let's add that. Okay. All right. So we got that dot over there. The dot is I.A is what is the phenomena, big picture overview. That's what you're talking about. What is it? So go through my paper. It actually tells you what it is, what phenomena I'm researching. I'm going to change it to this, so this way I don't poke or put dots everywhere. And then the next one, oh, I don't know why these things disappeared. Okay, I.B. So the first one was about phenomena, what is the big picture overview, and what has been researched and where is the gap in research. Okay, so this is what it talks about. Okay, like so these, all these papers you see, all of these you see the authors and all that, these over here, right from here, Jensen, Larson, and Pedersen, these are actually all academic paper. So I'm talking about what other studies have done, and then at the end I'm saying only a handful of studies have researched what I'm researching. Okay, so you want to talk about what is being researched, you know, kind of keep it a little bit generic and specific to your topic and your industry, so do that, and then say what part you're doing is not being researched or not researched as much. Okay, then the next part is about why should people care about your study. Okay, you're going to be studying, you know, monkeys that are shorter than 3 feet and taller than 2 feet. Why are you doing that? Okay, so why should people care? So why, so that's what this I.C, the next paragraph is. Why is it important? So that's what you're putting over here. And then later on, you're talking about S.A, which is the scope of the study. Let's go back over here. What is the focus of your study? Because it's not possible for one study to look at everything, okay? But at the same time, the phenomena that you're researching should have broader implications. It shouldn't be like we're looking at Houston from 19th Street to the 39th Street, and this is what happens between Shepherd Drive and Ella Drive and blah, blah, okay? Can that be useful in other neighborhoods or other contexts and things like that? So that's why, you know, you are going to limit the study, but at the same time, the study should have implications beyond the sample. But you're actually studying a little bit of some part, but hopefully it applies in other areas as well. And then S.B is the outline of the paper. So this is, you know, this section is going to talk about this, next section is talking about that, so on and so forth. Okay. Then the next part is main topic. That's what the main topic, you know, this is it, this is the main topic. What is it that you're researching? and so you're going to be defining the variable. So there is something called a dependent variable and independent variables. So let me give you some example of that. So let's just say that you're studying ice cream sales, okay? So that's your dependent variable, meaning ice cream sales depends upon, let's say you have a little store, little, let's just call it ice cream truck, okay? Just say that. So you're selling ice cream. So your ice cream sale, what you're saying is your ice cream sale depends upon the temperature. If it is hot outside, more people are going to come buy from you, okay? So temperature is one of the independent variable, okay? Dependent is ice cream sale, independent variable, and again, come up with 3 to 5. So one independent variable would be temperature, like if it gets hotter, that's your hypothesis, okay? Gets hotter, the ice cream sales go up. Another independent variable would be event. If there is an event going on, there is like a picnic going on, or there is some, let's say, auto show going on, or something near in the neighborhood, then your ice cream sales, the chances of your ice cream sales going up are higher. So that's the hypothesis. Hypothesis number one was temperature goes up, your ice cream sales goes up. Hypothesis number two could be if there is an event in the vicinity, your ice cream sales go up too. Okay. And you may want to have some negative variables. They're the ones that would affect what you're doing negatively. So you could say that your ice cream sales will go down if there is rain, if the chance of rain, or if the rain is there, if it rains more, then your ice cream sales are going to go down. Or if there are more competitors in the neighborhood, as the number of competitors increase, your ice cream sales go down. Okay, so I just gave you a simple idea about what is a dependent variable and independent variable. So that's what you're going to come up with. What is the variable? What is it that you're studying? Okay, and what does it depend? What are the factors that would affect that? So those are the independent variables. The factors affecting your dependent variables are the independent variables. Okay. And then conclusions, limitations, and implications. What is so by the way, let me go back over here. So this is you're doing this section, all of these. So these are hypotheses. See, when you're not testing it, then you call it as, you're what are you proposing? So it's like P1, P2, those are the hypotheses that you're proposing. You propose that that's what would happen. When you're actually testing it, then you'll call it H1, H2, because that's hypothesis. Right now, you're proposing some things. Okay, so all of these are there. Then skip research methodology is actually how you plan on testing it. Just skip this for now. Don't worry about it. Skip number 3. Go to, so you're skipping this. Okay, number 3. Everything under 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, everything you're skipping this. And then go directly to number 4 right here. So that's what you're talking about: conclusions, limitations, and implication. What was the conclusion of your study? So your study was ice cream sale goes up as temperature goes up. Yes, that worked out. And when it rains, the ice cream sales go down. Let's say you didn't find any relationship. Even when it rains, people do want to eat ice cream. If it is still outside, or you could say the rain has to be heavy enough for it to affect ice cream sales, but just a little bit it doesn't affect. So whatever. So you are talking about the conclusions, and the limitations is you could say, you studied only certain aspects of it, but it would apply to other aspects as well. And what are the implications? What do you plan on doing for future, or how would this data, would this study affect business decisions? That's what you're doing. And then number 5 is references. Make sure you include references, and this is the format in which you're doing, which is this is the name of the author, this is the title. So name, title right here, name, so the title of that. This is the journal in which, this is the year it was published, and this is the page numbers. Okay, that's how you're doing the reference. Okay, make sure you include references. And typically in academic paper, you have tons of references because you are See, the idea of an academic paper is not to reinvent the wheel, but you have to look at what has already been studied and how are you enhancing that study, or what is it that you're proposing that is different from others. So you have to support your paper with what has been studied. So that's why you have lots of references. So make sure that you have at least 20, 25 references. That's a good number because you do have to read those articles. By the way, you may be wondering, where do I get to read these articles? Good question. And the way you do that is go to uht.edu. That's our library. I mean, that's our website. And then go to library right here. And then search. So you start RT and let's say retail industry, or however way you want to do it, and you'll see some results. Oh, by the way, forgot to do something. Okay, so we want to just include this, okay? Scholarly publications, okay? Scholarly publications, scholarly journals, these are the article that I talked to you about. See, there are like newspaper articles where they don't need to support binary data, anybody could say anything. But the scholarly journal articles are actually the ones that talk about, or they have looked at data, or they have done extensive research. It's backed by some theory, stuff like that. So make sure you focus only on peer-reviewed journal articles, scholarly journals or peer-reviewed journal articles, okay? So our library is a good website for that, and go through that, okay? So to recap, this is, so conclusion references, how many points? By the way, how many points, the reason I'm asking is that gives you like a chance to go back and like go through it and see, did you really do it? Okay. And make sure you format it the way my paper is formatted. Okay. So to recap, AI paper, it is due, let me tell you what the due date is. It is due on March 8th, which is almost like about a little over a month. Should be able to do it. So it's important that you form a team soon. And this is what you need to do. You pick an area in AI and management or strategy or leadership in a particular industry, and use that, look at my paper, use that as a template and write the paper accordingly. By the way, last year I got funding to take 5 students to Chicago. Not promising, but this year, if I do get that, the #1 team would be able to take advantage of the trip to Chicago. But not promising, may happen. All right. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in future videos. All right.